Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you the way that I organize a particular game that I really was dying to get and glad I have now. But I must admit it was a tough one to organize. Now I use a 3D printer. I use a bamboo 3D printer to do all of this stuff. And so it should work on just about, these STL files should work on just about any printer that you have. And the nice thing is that this will be available on the GMT website for free. So you can download all of the STL files to make up your own organization trays for this game right here. God, I gotta get back from the camera, it's so big. Fields of Fire. This thing is a monster. So Andrew Steed and Colin Parsons, I'm hoping I'm saying both of your names right, and I apologize, I do mispronounce stuff all the time. But game designed by Ben Hall, and this game is awesome. I mean, if you haven't played this game, a lot of people are intimidated, but they did a lot in this particular deluxe edition to make it easier to play, and it's well worth getting. But I do have to admit, God, this thing weighs a ton. I can't tell you how heavy this thing is. It did take a lot to design the counter trays for this particular game, because I wanted to make these counter trays so they all come apart. You could put the pieces next to your plane and be able to, you know, get the game out there and just have fun with it. So let's look inside and see what I did. Okay, so right here, we'll get the box off here, and you can see that I have my usual 3 trays that I always do. This one is a little bit different. The first tray that I pull out is for the cards here, and nothing too special about that. Now you will notice that one thing that is special about this is that it has a little bump right here, and you see that spline that's right there on the rule books. That rule book is fantastic, but it does have that spline, so I had to make room there for that to fit. So this tray is good for the cards, and we'll come back to these cards in a minute here, and let me move that off to the side. Then this tray here comes up, and you can see that it's a little different than the other trays. And we'll talk about that here in a second. And then finally the last tray, again, has all of these pieces. And there's two, actually it ends up being 4 trays. Now, when we look inside the box, you're gonna notice here that I have a set of cards here. And these are your action cards, your action deck cards, are all of these cards here. And to get all of this in, I had to find a place for these. And I don't mind telling you, that was difficult. So I ended up placing them in here, and then that is what this tray is designed for right there. It has that little gap right there, so when that pushes up, the cards can fit right into the top of the tray there. So with the cards there, you have your rule book, it's in the bottom, and you have all of your other plain aids here of the game. And as you can see, they're all in the box. Everything fits in here nice and neat. And I also have all of the other books. And you see that they rotate around back and forth, so that way the splines are not all on one side and lifting up one side, so it makes it as even as possible. And again, a lot of manuals in this game. So they all fit down in here. And as you can see, they're all in there. So I'm gonna put all these back just so that we have them in there. But I just wanted to show you that everything fits in the box. The entire game goes back in this box with these pieces. And then we have, and I have this manual on top because generally you're going to use this first, then the player aids. And then these cards here, like I said, these are the action deck. You just divide them in half roughly. You know, doesn't have to be perfect. And then you slide them in there, and that keeps everything situated there. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way here so we can look at the trays. Let me just move that up out of the way. So the first tray we'll look at is the easiest one, I think, to look at. And this is our card deck right here. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over cameras. So you got the side view here. So you can see that, I make it so that you can lift the decks out real easy. All of my card decks are made for sleeve cards because I sleeve the cards, so that's what I make. So I have each one here, but I do have hard break ridge up here, and they go on the top. And what you will get is you will get a little divider here that you can make you can put in there so that it divide the Normandy from the hard break ridge card. So that way everything is organized. So these are all of Vietnam. The Nam Tong River are here, and Normandy is here. You place this down in there, and you place this card, these cards on top, and all these fit in there rather nicely. And then your lid goes right on there. And the lid holds everything in place so that even if it's stood up, it, if we stand it up, these are all in place. And again, we have the notch here for the manual there. So we'll put this one aside. And this one was the toughest to make. And we'll again go back over to this other camera here so you can see. So I have the notch for the manual right there. And then this is the notch where the cards from the top of the deck right here. This fits right in between them and keeps these separated, keeps them locked in, keeps everything locked in. And we'll go to our overhead one again. There we are. And so I have this so that these lock into the top row here. So here's your top row, and I made it so that all of these rows come apart. So this lifts off this one here, and so you have all of your playing pieces here, and you see that this comes apart. Now this one's a little bit tighter than the other one, but sort of what I wanted. I would like to have that one a little tighter, but it's not. So all of these come apart so that you can set them off to the side of the board as you're playing. You have all of these pieces where you can see them, especially these, because you're going to be using these quite a bit during the game. And some of these you'll be using, depending on what game you're playing. But you're going to be using some of these. And so again, these pieces, and let me get the side view here again for you. These pieces lock in. They all lock in together so that this locks in together and these pieces lock in together. And the way that this works, this has a little piece there and a little piece right there, and they just snap together. So when you snap them together, and this groove up here, that's going to fit into here. I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way with it. Get back there. These grooves right here are going to fit into these grooves right down here on the bottom. So you can see that when I put this together, they all snap in place and all those grooves fit together right there. And so this makes it a pretty solid piece. So when you bring this lid on right there, that makes it a pretty solid piece so you can pick it up and out of the tray. Now, it can fall apart if you pick it up wrong, but if you just are halfway skilled at picking up something, you shouldn't have a problem with that staying together. And we'll go over to this one here. So this one again has the locking pieces up at the top. This comes off, and these are some more of your playing pieces, especially with your armies here. These are your main fighting pieces here, and these are all of your add-ons, and sort of this is ammo here, unspotted over there, potential contacts over here, your signals, all of that stuff. And again, these do the same thing. The bottom row unhinges right there. They come apart, and this comes apart. And again, all of these can be set off to the side so you can pull straight from these containers here and then put right back, and then put everything back together to put back into the box. And like I said before, these lock in together, and then this one here fits right on top, just like that. And we'll give you another side view over here. And then once these are all together, this sort of keeps it from going that way. And now you have them all interlocking so that You can put them in the box and they'll stay where they're supposed to stay. So the main thing is that when you have these is trying to figure out where everything goes, and that's what this sort of is right here. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we are. So these are all the pieces that go into this top tray here, and you can see that there are different lengths here. And I'll get up. Here are your pieces, and they go into these trays. You can see how far down it goes, and I'll just give you a slow span of that because it does require some organization and getting them back in the same spot. And then the top pieces here, they'll be upside down, but we'll let you see how they get. There we are. And those are the top pieces, and that's the sides there. And we'll move it that way so you can see, get some light on that. And the next top black tray that I have here is this one here. And you can see that these are all your pieces. And let me get it at the right spot. There we are. This is not no easy thing. Don't think this is easy to do, people. Slide these back and forth so you can see them. And then again, get a little bit of light on that and slide them so that you can see how they arrange in there. And feel free to stop this video and, take a screen grab or something to figure out, where all these pieces go. And then now we get down to the lower level of this first main one here, and this is the one without the notch. I call it the black one because I put them all different colors. But you see that we have our smoke there, and our communication is there, and our game turn is here. Potential contacts are there. Get you a nice shot of that there so that you know where they go, and then I'll give you the depth here so that you can see how far down they go and what goes where. Now this particular one with the game turn, this has a lot of the pieces like the markers and stuff are all right here for your boundaries and borders, and so a lot of them, when you finish filling up these, it's just pretty easy just to figure out which ones go there. And then finally the last one of the bottom ones here of the black tray that I have. And this is the side views, so you can see how far down they go. And you see that these take up the most space on this side. And this side here, again, we have those, and then a lot of our ammunition. I tried to keep stuff together, to make it a little easier when you're organizing it. So these are, your machine gun ammo, all of that. So, and these are your cover pieces. So that way you get used to where they're at, and it's easy enough to find. And we'll go back to this overhead view, and again, this is the black one. And let me get them lined up correctly. So the bottom locks in here, and the top. The black is. I'll tell you what, the black is hard to see. Don't make it with black. So these two go together, and this actually goes on top of this one. That's the top. That's the bottom. These come through this lid here, and again, this was the one that you looked at. Was the one that has just a groove on the bottom, just the one groove there. So that's that one, and then we are going to look now. The one that we're looking at this time, that we'll get close-ups of, will be the one that goes in front where the cards are. And so we'll take that off, and again we'll switch cameras here. Let me take these apart. So we'll start with the bottom on this one. This is the bottom row, the biggest part, the biggest bottom row. You can see that this right here. Now, of course, you can't see because it's out of focus here. Let me get this into focus. There you go. So this comes apart like this. These come apart. And then we're going to look at this one first. And let me get it up here. And get our focus in. There we are. All right. So again, these are mostly ones for the enemy. I have a lot of these here. We do have some cover, or not cover, but defense, foxholes, debunkers, bunkers. But those are the ones that are in this tray right here. And if you see this side here, you see the thickness. And we'll give you a view of this side here. And then this is the unusual bottom one. This is the one that is shaped like this. And so you can see that I have these fire teams right here, and in there's the, I think, a mortar, and is that one. And over here are some more mortars, and they all slide in from the top right there. And then this is your rifle. And on this side, we have all of these right here. Let me get nice and focus. And you're paralyzed. So this one's a pretty easy one to figure out. And here's our base ones. Man, these are the ones that stick together pretty good. I'm kind of happy about this fit. So we'll get it into focus. There we are. And expose markers there. And this side here, start up here, and this is, of course, going to be upside down because I put them all in the same facing, except that one exposed. Look, I got that one all wrong. And you're targeting. And I'll show you. And then finally, the last of our base here, of again that one that has the cards that go in front there. And this is the groove that continues that. And so here are those that are in that one. And the length. All right, and then we come from our top-down view and snap these two together. And these are our top ones because they have the notches for the lid there. This is our bottom, and they have the notches here that fit into the bottom of this right here. And then the lid's going to go on. And again, you see that we let's go to this camera here so you can get a good look at it, and I will refocus. So again, here's where your cards fit, right at the front of the box. Okay, and so like I said, you put this white one in first, put it there. The black one can go any place if you like. I generally put it at the base there, and then I put the cards in the middle because I don't mind if the lids pop off the cards there. And the nice thing is it makes it easier to pull the cards out in the center when you're, oops, let me get this all in there for you. It makes it easier to pull the cards out from the middle than it does on the ends there. So we'll put them down, put that in there, and close the box up. Okay, so, God, this thing weighs a ton. So you can see that's my organization for Fields of Fire. Now again, it's going to take you a little while to make all these pieces for it. Once you get them done, you can come back to the video, stop it, put your pieces in place there. All my pieces are clipped. All of my cards are, you know, I put them in plastic. So if you don't do that, you're just going to have a little bit more space for the cards. You could make another spacer or two to, you know, make it lock all in if you want. But yeah, that's Fields of Fire organized. And once you get playing it, it makes it nice to put those trays on each side and just grab stuff right from there and not have to go looking for plastic bags or inside of, you know, little containers trying to find the pieces that you want to find. So hopefully you like that. Maybe, you know, this might make you buy a 3D printer. I don't know. But the box is heavy. It can stand up. Everything locks in there really nice. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe. It helps out the channel tremendously. I don't make any money on these. When you download them, you get them completely free and just have fun with it. I just wanted to be able to share, and GMT has the same attitude. They wanted to be able to share and make it so that you guys can organize your stuff rather nicely. And you will see more and more of these coming out as we continue. So again, thanks for watching. Take care.